Okay, in this video we have an engineer task. This was a request. This request is actually from 2 years ago when I did the last batch of fighting position videos. I'm hoping to be able to knock out 2 or 3 over this next week, but it will be weather dependent. This might be the only one that I'm able to get done for right now. If you can't tell by the title from this video, this is a two-man foxhole according to World War II German doctrine. The manual I used to find the information on this is Special Series number 17, German Doctrine of the Stabilized Front, published on 15 August 1943. It was published by the Military Intelligence Department of the War Department. The information of this was taken from a translated German manual, Infantry Field Fortifications, from 15 January 1940. That's where I was able to get the dimensions and that stuff. It took me a while to get this information. I had to look, and I ended up having to dig through what I had on hand, and I finally was able to find the information. So we're going to move to the side of the position here. If you can't tell, you're looking at the front right now. You're looking at the front parapet, and the front is camouflaged. The German military was very big on camouflaging their positions and their equipment so the enemy would not see it and target it. So after the position was dug, come through, camouflage it with whatever material is available to blend it in so the enemy would not notice it. That is why we got grass clippings all over the front. We're kind of simulating that we're on the east front, say 1942. All right, let's go to the side and let's get some dimensions here. We left part of this open so that you can see the mound of dirt that's going all the way around. Now we have two-tone dirt, black dirt over clay. Tried to toss the black dirt to the front, clay more to the sides and rear. The only tools used was an entrenching tool set at a 90 degree for scooping spoil out from the bottom, and a East German shovel, one of their quote-unquote long handle shovels. Now, general dimensions of the position here. Total length was 5 feet 7 inches from this end to that end down there. Width, 2 foot 10 inches at the top, 2 foot at the bottom. You angle the walls. This is to, or slope the walls. This is to prevent or cut down on collapses happening. If you can see down at the bottom there, down at where the black soil is at the very bottom of the hole, that's the 2 foot side, 2 foot 10 at the top. When I was digging this, I dug it as a straight 2 foot wide hole the entire way, and then once I got the correct depth, I went through and dug out an additional 5 inch on each end to slope it downward. Now the parapets on this, the front is supposed to be 4 foot 11 inches wide, the rear 4 foot 2 inches wide. This is according to military regulations. You're supposed to have an 8-inch shelf in the edge of your trench in front of your parapet for putting ammunition and hand grenades. On the sides and back, the sides is supposed to be 8-inch, the back 1 inch, but I still backed it up a bit to keep the dirt from falling inside the position. Total depth of the hole itself from top to the bottom, so right the top of the ground to the bottom of the hole, 4 foot 3 inches. The height of the parapet in front, 1 foot 4 inches. Parapet in back is supposed to be 1 foot in height, and then the sides are supposed to be 1 foot 2 inches in height. So it's supposed to kind of angle its way downward as it's going back. Now, suggestions that were in the German manual that were translated and put inside Special Series number 17. The German military recommend lengthening the foxhole on both ends, adding sitting ledges, and the sitting ledge would have actually gone all the way across, but because of how long it took to dig this, I only did a sitting ledge right back here to use as also a step for getting in and out. 4 foot 3 inches is pretty damn deep for trying to get in and out. They also recommend putting in a drainage sump with duck boards. Duck boards is that wood that goes across the bottom, usually say 6 inches to a foot up from the bottom of the hole, so that any water that comes inside collects in there and drains away. They also recommend digging in ammo niches in the front walls and side walls for putting ammunition and grenades. Now, this is a two-man position, two-man buddy team, which would be part of a squad. The squad defensive frontage, according to Doctrine from 1940, is supposed to be no greater than 33 yards. Distance between the foxholes is 4 to 9 yards. The depth of the position from front position to the rearmost position, it says to vary it, make it irregular. Space the positions out so that you do not lose the entire squad, or to minimize casualties from the impact of a single artillery round. The squad leader, according to Doctrine, is supposed to be co-located with the squad machine gun, and the squad leader is supposed to maintain contact with all personnel in the squad at all times. So he typically locates the machine gun around the center of the position or in an elevated position so it can overlook the entire squad. So now we'll get some look on more technical stuff here. Rear parapet, it is not 4 foot in depth going back. I put most of the dirt towards the front. The soldier inside would be better for putting most of the dirt to the front and tamping it. Hitting it with the shovel, pack it down. This makes it more dense, more bullet resistant. Now my sitting ledge here, like I said, this would go all the way across the fighting position. It took me an incredible amount of time to dig this out because I found out 2/3 of the depth here I was digging in clay, and it was solid clay. It was like trying to dig out big brick chunks. It was just peeling out as I was pulling it out of there. But this gives you an idea for sitting ledge. It's going to be approximately, say, knee height, maybe be a little bit taller. This is the idea behind it is you can sit on it and still see over the front of your parapet to see for enemy activity. The depth I found out on the sitting ledge after I did this, it's supposed to be about 1.5 feet, 18 inches back. That's according to Doctrine, apparently. You can see the slopes on the walls. Now, typically, from what I've noticed in German training films, if your rifle was not down right in front of you, it was actually sitting right across the top of the position, kind of snugged down a little bit so that they're not going to see it as easily through the camouflage. Immediately behind it, you would have stacked a couple hand grenades. They did not have claymore type mines, but they did obviously have placed anti-personnel mines, which would be located in front of the positions. The holes that you would dig, the niches for the ammunition, would be, say, about 1.5 foot down from the ledge there, so that all you had to do is quickly reach down, grab what you needed, pull it out, and use it. But most of the stuff should either be in your pouches or sitting right there on that ledge right behind the parapet. Now, the depth of this hole, like I said, it's deep. 4 foot 3 inches with a 1 foot 4 inch parapet in front, you're talking 5 feet 7 inches from the bottom of your hole to the top of your parapet. Considering that the average soldier back in those days was probably around 5'6" to 5'10" range, that's pretty damn tall. According to Special Series number 17, they put in there that they did not doubt that the German military revised their field regulations concerning fighting positions because of experience on the battlefield. So they may not have gone as deep actually on the battlefield. They may have done like the US military, where the top of the parapet would have been just below your armpit depth. And see if I can give you a good picture here without giving away too much intel of what it would be like looking out of the hole. I have this right in front of my eyes. I'm about average height for World War II soldier estimated. And you can see I only have so many inches I can see over the top of the position, but I have enough that I can fully stand up. I don't have to crouch down, lean forward with the rifle. Remember, they were bolt actions, and be able to fire straight out. Give you a bit of a detail for the sides. Something I did come across, which I did not do, supposed to angle the forward edge of this ledge also, so it's not going to collapse as easy as this. I would recommend taking a piece of wood, also digging it in, putting a log going across here. That'll cut down on, spread out the weight and stuff, cut down on dirt collapsing in. This is supposed to be 18 inches back approximately, but really, as long as it's wide enough that your butt's going to fit on there with you wearing your gear, that's probably what mattered in the field. But there you go. You guys wanted to see a World War II German fighting position according to Doctrine? Well, here you go. I'll give you a heads up. I am hoping, if the weather holds, I'm going to be improving this position. I'm going to be doing a deliberate position, kind of a cross between German and American Doctrine, because obviously I'm starting off with a German fighting position, not an American two-man foxhole. So hopefully I'll be able to work on that the next couple days, and then I'll be posting that maybe next weekend. We'll see how long it takes to dig out. For those of you wondering construction time, I'm going to say this position, because of the clay I had to dig through, it took me at least 6 hours. And I'll say about half of it, I did have a second person come and help me out through it. But it's just, that clay, I mean, as you can see, as I'm peeling it off, it's like I was sculpting. It's just peeling off in sheets and giant chunks. Clay slows you down. It doubles your construction time. Plain and simple. Now, for all my engineer brothers in Patriot and Militia movements, always remember, Essayons.